Okay, so I just finished having second breakfast at a great little cafe here in Midway. I am definitely dawdling my ass around today, and that's okay. I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere, but I'm definitely wasting daylight and wasting time just being in slug mode. Anyhow, we're gonna head out to Greenwood and stop there and get some resupplies and probably eat more food. Leaving Midway, heading east to Greenwood. We're gonna jump back on a rail trail here in a sec and carry on. Yeehaw. All right, made it to historic Greenwood. You can see the big stack up there on the hill from the old smelter. At one point, this was one of the biggest population places in all of the province and one of the most busiest commerce hubs for its time. At the turn of the century, if you were getting copper, you were getting it from here. And yeah, Greenwood's been around for a long time. Anyways, carrying on. All right, so here we are. Historic town of Greenwood, old mining town. Okay, pulling out of Greenwood. I have been dawdling like crazy today. I stopped off at a friend of a friend's place here in Greenwood for a fudgesicle and some water and some data about the trails up ahead. Funky roadside attraction on the side of the Highway 3. They call this the Tunnel of Flags. Eholts summit, 1,028 meters. So I just jumped off the trail just about a kilometer back. The place I stopped in Greenwood, the friend of a friend, she told me that just around here somewhere the trail is under construction or there's a trail closure of some sort. Either way, it kind of times out perfectly. I've been on the trail all day since Rock Creek and all through Greenwood and stuff and all the way up to here to the summit. And I'm good for a little bit. My tushy could use a rest, and it's downhill all the way into Grand Forks. Let's go, Eholts summit. 1,028 meters. Yeehaw. Grand Forks, baby! Woo! Let's go! That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Just flying down that hill. Oh man, on a loaded bike. Yeehaw. Good times. We're in Grand Forks, baby. Okay, so I'm in Grand Forks for the night. I decided to get off the bike earlier this afternoon. It was a 77 kilometer day from Rock Creek to here. I did half of it on the rail trail, and then at Eholts summit I jumped off and decided to come down on the highway, which was absolutely worth it for that descent into Grand Forks. That was awesome. That was so much fun on a loaded bike, just ripping down the highway like that. Like I said, I decided to stay here for the night. Got a great little spot in their municipal campsite right in the heart of the city, town. clean, quiet, really nice house, showers. Nobody there except a couple RVers and another big group of cycle tourists, a few pads over, up from the States, doing a road gravel loop. Just out for a walk to the store and cruise around the town of Grand Forks. I've been here many times before. I actually really like this little town. I've stayed here before. I've been in and out of this town many times, traveling back and forth to Shambhala. And yeah, every time I'm here, I like to pause. I don't know what it is about this little town, but I really like it. Anyways, that's going to be it for day 15. I'm going to return back to camp, kick back, relax, and call it a night. Top OE morning, day 16 of my great summer cycling adventure. Coming to you from Grand Forks. I stayed here last night at a great little campsite here in town, their municipal campsite. Highly recommend it. Quiet, clean, great host. Virtually empty, except for a big group of cycle tourists from the States doing a gravel loop. It was really nice to talk to them and all that. Anyways, hold on a sec. I'm been faffing about for a couple hours this morning trying to get out of Grand Forks. I absolutely love this little town, and like I said before, I always find time to pause here, and I always try to find excuses to prolong my stay. But it's time to get moving. We're going to be hitting the Columbiaand Western Rail Trail from here to Castlegar today. It's going to be a big day, about 113 kilometers. We may or may not make it. And we got the Bulldog Tunnel today too. Don't know what kind of shape it's in. Can't really get any information on it, whether it's even open or not. But it's going to be a big one. Anyways, big day. 113 kilometers to Castlegar along the Columbiaand Western Rail Trail. Leaving Grand Forks. Let's go. Just cruising along in between Grand Forks and Christina Lake along the Columbiaand Western Rail Trail. This is an absolute dream ride right now. It's a beautiful trail. And look at this. This is exactly what I needed for this morning. Really enjoying this. Definitely in the mountains now. Just crossing over the Kettle River, heading to Christina Lake. Alright, so I just jumped off the trail in Christina Lake really quick to grab a burger and a milkshake. And then I'm going to jump back on the Columbiaand Western Trail and continue on to Castlegar. The only downside is that it's a 600-meter climb from here back up to the trailhead. And it's very steep. Anyways, gonna carry on. Okay, just climbing up out of Christina Lake, back up to the Columbiaand Western Rail Trail. This will probably be one of the steepest climbs of the day, ironically. But it's a nearly 700-meter climb from where I had lunch back up to the rail bed. It's gonna be a while. Okay, so after a nearly 700-meter climb up a road, back on the Columbiaand Western Rail Trail, and back to a 3% grade. Hopefully the trail from this point on isn't too beat up. It is multi-use, and as we know so far on this trip, a lot of the multi-use trails have been less than desirable. Looks okay for now, but we'll see. If it gets too bad, we'll jump off. But anyways, Columbiaand Western all the way to Castlegar. Let's go. There we go. Yes, dude. That's some cold, fresh fucking water. Okay, so that's Paulson Bridge, and that was sort of a visual landmark that I was looking for today. I kind of needed that. It's a little bit of a boost. I know physically where I am in the world now in regards to the trail, logistically, just because I know where this bridge is and I've traveled over it many times. Yeah, anyways, still climbing for quite a ways more, but that was one of the landmarks I was looking for, Paulson Bridge. And as you can see, there's still snow up here. Anyways, carrying on, still going uphill. Woo! Bikepacking. Okay, so this is the infamous Bulldog Tunnel. It's about 948 meters long or something like that, or 900. It's over 900 meters long, and it's pitch black, and it's in really rough shape. So, yeah, this was kind of one of the bigger challenges of the day. I'm gonna try and get through it as quick as I can. I gotta strap the lights on and see if we can do this. Anyways. Bulldog Tunnel, let's go. All right, made it through Bulldog Tunnel. That was a little bit sketchy, but I knew what I was getting into. Very dark in there, very cold. And yeah, made it through, no problems. Very nice group of off-roaders at the end there to have a little break and a chit chat with. Anyhow, it's pretty much downhill all the way to Castlegar. I don't know if I'll make it there today, but we got 3% rail grade all the way for 40 clicks. Might make it to Castlegar. Let's go. Rolling into Castlegar. What a day. All right, 115 kilometers later from Grand Forks, I made it to Castlegar. I'm just standing in front of City Hall. Big day. I'm gonna go look about getting some food and some accommodations, and I'll check in a minute. 115 kilometers from Grand Forks to Castlegar. Top of the morning. Welcome to day 17 of my great summer cycling adventure. I'm currently in Castlegar, BC. This is where I came into last night after riding the Columbiaand Western Trail from Grand Forks to here, 115 kilometers. Absolutely one of the best days I've ever had on a bike, hands down ever. The trail conditions were a little rough at times, but the scenery and the vibe were just so worth it. And then that 50-kilometer downhill descent from Farron Peak all the way into Castlegar. Highly, highly recommend it. Any bikepackers, cycle tourists, please take that route. The Columbiaand Western from Grand Forks into Castlegar is an absolute dream ride. Little rough, but a good ride. I didn't do much of a post-trip report from yesterday. As soon as I got into town, I pretty much just passed out and slept the whole night through. Obviously, my body just was at its limit. That was the best night's sleep I've had on the whole trip so far. I pretty much slept for about 10 hours solid. So for today, it's just a really short day. I'm just heading from Castlegar to Nelson. I'm going to be staying with a dear family friend for a few days. Get off the bike for a couple days, rest, recharge, shower, shave, try to get some video actually edited. Editing video is becoming quite a challenge. And anyways, it's going to be a really short day, about 3 or 4 hours to my destination, and then I'm going to be off the bike for a day or two, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to. And then we're going to keep heading eastbound from there. Anyhow, day 17, Just Jake's Great Summer Cycling Adventure. Leaving Castlegar, heading towards Nelson. Just a half day today. Let's go. There's also another reason I'm totally having a bit of a half day and then taking a rest day today and tonight off the bike. Not just because my body obviously needs it. My mind doesn't, but my body does. It's because that is coming. They're calling for thunderstorms and heavy rain showers today, this afternoon, and this evening. And that system you see right there over my shoulders is going to kind of chase me to where I'm going to today. So hopefully I don't get trapped in it too much. But anyways, it's a good excuse to not sleep in a tent tonight. Crossing over the Kootenays River. She's a mighty one. Oakley dokley. So I've made it to my destination just outside of Nelson, and this is where I'm going to take a few days off the bike, rest, relax, recharge, all that good stuff. It's been a hard week of really good riding, but it's been a harder week than I thought. Definitely, my body is definitely telling me to take a break. Even though the mind and the spirit are willing, I'm not a young 20-year-old anymore, so I have to listen to my body a little bit more often now. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to having a couple days and a couple nights off the bike and sleeping in a bed and all those creature comforts of real world and not bikepacking world. So it was a super short day. I was only on the bike for maybe 2 or 3 hours. It was about a 50-kilometer ride from Castlegar to where I'm staying, just outside of Nelson. And yeah, that's about all I got for you right now. I'm going to sign off for a couple days, and we'll pick up the adventure in a couple days, and we'll be heading out of Nelson, heading eastbound. Anyways, this is day 17 of Just Jake's Great Summer Cycling Adventure from just outside Nelson in the Kootenays.